It is 8:41. News Talk Sauga 960. Raw. Mike Richards on our farewell week and the Friday finale, which is it's kind of catching up to me a little bit, but see, the time we spent on this radio station was a very personal one, and it came out of absolutely nowhere. I go back, there is an email that I'm going to read that I got from one of the original person who phoned me, and I thought I was being punked. I really thought that someone was up to, like, come on. So this guy named Pete Whitaker calls me. Hey, how you doing there? I'm like, you trying to sell hay? Who is this? What is this? Hey, you want to work at a radio station? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, sounds like fun. Yeah, there's one in Mississauga. I go, no, there's not. I know there's not. Oh, I started one. Oh, you did you? You're starting a radio station? And as it turns out, and he represented a family, and so it was so weird that I basically had to leave a message for this family that I had never met. This Panu family from Mississauga, and I'm like, I left a message, and I think I emailed and said, I can't do this. Like, this is too weird. I really need to survive after my job was taken away at TSN, which it was. Like Lisa LaFlamme, we found ourselves out in a place I never thought I'd be. And I get this message back from this young lady. And by virtue of the sound of her voice, because of what I heard in her voice, I have stayed for almost 5 years, single-handedly. It was this person, and that person is Jody Panu, who joins me right now. So great to see your beautiful face. I'm sorry people are like, not supposed to say that anymore. Oh, she's a beautiful girl. I don't care. I have missed you so much. I mean, since COVID, and we haven't had a chance. We used to see each other every day. And I'm just thrilled that I get to see you here this morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on your show today. And it is one of those happy and sad moments for me as well. And I think I'm going to get teared up. So I'm going to I'm going to wrap this up. But you know what? I remember I got a LinkedIn message from you, and you're like, I need to speak to you. And I remember responding. I was like, yeah, let's talk. And then we spoke, and then that was history. And I remember when we had the Mississauga location, and then we started in the Etobicoke. And honestly, Mike, I cannot thank you enough. You started with me, and look where we are now today. During that journey, a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people were like, they're not going to last. They're making podcasts, they're making shows, making fun of us. Remember the forums?
No, trust me.
Those crazy forums that people were like making fun of us and just making such negativity. That's what I felt. Now that I look back at it, you know what? We are a small radio community. Why don't we stick together and encourage each other? But instead, we like to bash each other. And that's very unfortunate that we all do this as human beings, not in our career, but as personal life as well. And now that, at that moment, I was young, I used to get upset. I kid you not, I used to not sleep at night just thinking about these things. And now, I'm a little older, a little wiser. I would say, all those posts and discussions that people were having and those podcasts and the negativity that people brought in, I'm glad that brought us where we are today, and it made us stronger. And Mike, you were one of our strong hosts, and thank you so much for sticking it out and believing in what we're doing.
Well, I think people can hear the sincerity in your voice. It's why I stayed. I stayed for you. I stayed for you. I mean, it really didn't matter what was going on with really literally anybody else. To me, my focus was always on this sweet person who had dedicated so much of her life, and in those early days, literally sleeping at the station 7 days a week. I mean, up early, and then when I first met your family that day where I didn't know if I could really do this, and talking with your dad and meeting your mom, and it probably was supposed to be a 1 hour meeting, or I don't know what it was supposed to be. I show up around in the middle of the day. I didn't leave till like 8 o'clock at night. And I remember phoning my wife. She goes, "What is going on?" I said, "I think I'm a Sikh now." She's like, "What?" And we talked about absolutely everything with your dad,
Yeah.
who is one of the smartest people. I don't think people would really, you could literally do a documentary on what he has done with his life, and people would go, like, I think people probably do know who he is. And you go back all the way to the 80s,
Yeah.
if there was I'm serious, I think probably the first turban that ever would have shown up on Toronto television Canada,
It was my dad.
it's got to be, it has to be your father. And so you go through all the crazy. I'm going to read you an email. This is from Pete Whitaker, who at one point explained how he can't even see. So he's been Blind Pete to me ever since. Here's an email from Blind Pete. This is the kind of stuff we had to deal with. He said, because we started talking about a start date. Now, this is when we were down in Port Credit in a building that was owned by a crazy real estate guy. Now, there is crazy good, I will say that, because you had enough of that. But let's be honest. This member of Browntown, he had a lot of crazy for a lot of different people. But here, in trying to get ready for the station, I'm thinking of microphones, I'm thinking of the sound, I'm thinking about headphones. And Pete goes, "Yeah, let's talk tomorrow about possible start dates. Monday will be tough, though. The reason is I still need to locate glass for the front window."
I would be like, "What? There's no walls and
Yeah,
there's
it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean there's no window? What do you mean there's no glass? And it was this kind of crazy stuff. And I remember saying to Jyoti at one point, who was, I taking this stuff very personally. And as she said, that's why she's who she is and why she's special. And I remember sort of grabbing her at one point at the new location. I said, "You know what? At one point, this will be something that we will laugh about. At some point, we're going to be talking about this, and we're going to laugh because it is so crazy." And here we are on August the 11th of 2023, laughing about it, which is a great place to be. Now, I should tell people, I'm going to give some details of what's going on. It's very exciting. But don't think that I'm not going to be still a part of this radio station. I will never not be a part of the Panu family. Anything that you would ever ask of me, anything, including babysitting, And now that you have the man that you wanted, and you got the baby that you wanted, and you've got the life you wanted, there's so many things that I'm proud of that kind of aren't radio things. And that's the top of the list. I'll also be honest too, when people wanted to, and I'll talk about this later on today, those that wanted to mock of us, and quite frankly, those who made fun of it, and you look at their names, I don't know who they are, because they're nobodies in the industry, and they never were, and they never will be. Most of them are fake, kind of their self-importance about how much they know. Really? Because I never rubbed shoulders with you, and I've known anyone for the last 30 years. So you're not anybody.
But I feel like not only that, it was also, all these podcasts that people were doing at that time, and they probably still are. I don't even follow them anymore. I just feel like I don't need that type of energy in my life. But they were doing diggings of wanting to interviewing some of our previous hosts and wanting to see that, I wonder what they're going to slip out of their mouth, or I wonder what they're going to say. Let's have them on our show, on our podcast. And even that, I was just like, seriously, you're gonna like go that low? And I'm just like, you know what? At the end of the day, we're gonna do us, and we're gonna move forward and not look behind us, because you know what? Let's stay positive. Let's do what we have to do, and that's what we're doing, right?
That's what you have done. That's what you have done. It didn't, like everybody else, you grow a second skin. All of a sudden, the stuff that used to be said doesn't bother you anymore. It doesn't. It doesn't. Is it the strangest station of all time? Yes, it is.
Yes.
There is nothing crazier than working at Newstalk Sauga 960.
But you have to understand that if you look at all the radio stations, we're very small, and with COVID being hit, we're still surviving. So give us a chance. We must be doing something right, people. Like, come on, give us a little bit of good job, Sauga 960.
Yeah. Well, right? I'll tell you, it's the ability. See, back in the 70s, there were a lot of stations like this where you had crazy personalities, they had crazy shows, everyone was different. And then the business became, let's all be the same. Consultants got in there. And so all the stations, that's why you can go from one station to the other. I don't know what station I'm listening. It could be any station. Well, if
Yeah.
you turn on this station and go from show to show, you'd be like, what the hell? Mark Petrone, what is he talking about? I hate what he just said. And then you got Richard now, Sarah, who comes on in the, what is I get, and then it bounces all over the place. And at some point, someone's not speaking English. And you're like, okay, I don't understand this at all. I don't get it at all. And you know what? That's the charm of it. That's kind of the beauty of it. The beauty is in its difference. And so I would just say to people here, because I'm going to let you go and then I'll wrap up, but I'm in some ways not going anywhere. I will never not be a part of this. If you need me for, as I said, anything, you're still probably from time to time, and I'll be able to go further as we, after today. But there's some big things that I'm going to do, but a lot of that's still going to show up on this radio station. Mike Richards is never not going to be part of Newstalk Sauga 960. I'll never not be a part of your life. Talking to Money at the remote the other day, nothing made me laugh harder. He showed up. He's like, oh, I forgot that. I said, hey, Money, don't worry about it. He goes, my sister's going to kill me. Oh, I know that. Oh, trust me, that I know. But what you have done, I will never forget. It will always be a part of my life. I am so glad that I spent the time, as difficult as times were, and passions would run high. It always came back to the fact that we really cared about each other. And that is the only thing that matters to me. Most people don't get a chance to come on. And I mean, who comes on with ownership and says how much they love them, basically, which is what I'm doing. I love you and your family. And I'm very proud of the work that's been done. I know I can move on now because the station's okay. The station's okay. I can move on from this and know that the station will continue on. The shifts will continue on. There'll be new faces showing up. And that's what has been developed. So I want to say congratulations to you, not only on the radio station surviving, which shouldn't be taken lightly, but congratulations on the life that you now have, because you have a great life. You have a family life. And, I can't tell you how much that means to me, because that means the world.
Thank you so much, Mike. And again, yes, of course, you're always going to be part of the station. It's never going to be like, he was here. I'm like, no, he's still here. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're going to be hearing, like, Jyothi's talking to you smack again. She's telling everybody you still work here.
You take care. Say hi to your
Yeah,
family for me, and I will see you
will.
again very soon. And when I mean I love you, I do love you very much.
I love you too. And I'm going to hold you on that. So I know where you live. I'm packing up your little guy's stuff and I'm dropping him off. So
That is
bye,
fine.
have fun.
That is fine by me. That is Jody Perdue, the family that owns the radio station. And again, almost solely the reason that I stayed for this time.